this daily dose of growth is not going to be happy. We're going to talk about COVID and mental health. So here's where I'm coming from. So I just got off the phone with one of my best friends at 20, 25 years, something like that. And we were talking, and he was like, dude, sorry, so here, how much do I want to tell you that it'll come out? I don't know how much he cares. All right, we'll try to anonymize it a bit. So we're talking, and we had this business that we started probably right during COVID year 2020, maybe 2021. So we worked on it, grand ideas, all this fun stuff. Okay, cool. And then his part came, and what should have taken probably 6 months has now been like 2 to 3 years. It, I have money invested in it, and I've nudged him a little bit. Hey, when is this going to be done? When is this going to be done? Um, and kind of just it's been a side project, and on my end, I've been done for like 2 to 3 years, so I've just been chilling, waiting for him to get it done so we can launch it, yada yada, and you know, and he kind of has dodged me a little bit, doesn't call, doesn't answer, doesn't respond, kind of affected our friendship a bit, which sucks, but that's how it is. Um, so yeah, so for probably 2 years we didn't talk a whole lot. Sometimes I would send him something, we'd have a tiny light conversation. Sometimes I'd be like, "Yo, where the fuck is your work for this project we have?" And finally, the past like week or two, it's kind of been like, "Hey, it's almost done. All right, let's talk." And he goes and gives me a call, and basically the beginning of it is, "I'm so sorry. The last 2 years, I've basically been in, let's just call it a light depression." Um, I think the word depression's thrown around a lot. He was sad. I mean, it's more than sad. It's a long term thing, and I went through it too. I think everyone here has gone through it. And so then he goes on. He's like, you've been there. I know that I let you down, fuck you over, whatever. But um, you know, I, I learned a lot about who my close friends are, my good friends are. And you're one. Thank you. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's great, cool. And we had a little heart to heart about our 20-year friendship. And then it's like, all right, well, now can we push forward? And we have. So that's kind of where this started. And then you go back and think, and I'm sure oh man, it's gonna get dark. Um, whew, yeah. So about 2 months ago, one of my good friends ended up taking his life. I probably haven't really, other than like a birthday message here and there for the past 2 or 3 years, I haven't seen a whole lot of him. Right. I moved down to the islands. Um, Even before that, I think he moved up to like Boulder, but I've known him for like 15 years, so he's gone, and never got to say goodbye, never got to say fucking anything. Just all of a sudden saw like his brother on his account posting saying Caleb's no longer with us. Um, and it's tough. Oh man! And then I had another friend, Jackson, who did call me often, but sometimes he was so wasted. I would answer his calls, and me being sober, he'd be just drunk as hell. Sometimes I remember one time he called me like 5 times in a row, every 2 minutes for like 10 minutes straight, and asked me the same question, and I'd answer it. I'm like, "Yo, Jackson, I just answered this, man." He ended up drinking himself to death, and he's no longer with us. And so all of this comes, and I think so COVID was a dark time, right? And you can go check my receipts and all my posts and all that. Um, for me, when the COVID came and the lockdowns came, I saw massive mental health issues, and I was finding suicide stats and domestic violence stats and doing research and writing all sorts of, not really papers, but just results and stuff about how these lockdowns are going to affect us. I mean, essentially for 8, depending on where you lived, I guess in Texas it was like a month. From a month to a year, you were essentially locked away from everyone. And a lot of, yeah, I guess a lot of good came from it. Let's not say a lot. Some good came of it. Lots of people came online and built businesses, right? We got like Lauren Jumps, a little girl, built her business during, the guy that's like websites you should know, number 104. All these people built awesome businesses by being confined and forced to, which, oh man, it's some silver lining. But realistically, we lost millions of people due to the disease, right? Or you can argue whatever conspiracy you want to believe in. People died, whether you think it was COVID or flu or comorbidities or whatever you want to fucking say about it. The fact is, a lot of people died, and that's super sad and tragic. But while that was happening, I was sitting there knowing that there is more shit coming. That was a tip of the iceberg. And it's crazy to know a lot of first world countries do not keep stats on suicide. I spent 6 months researching all of this: how, why, who, where, what happens. And Japan's one of the only like first world countries that keeps very up to date, accurate stats on suicide rates. But even beyond that, I mean, domestic violences were up, assaults were up, all sorts of shit. So what? I don't even know where I'm going right now. I'm sure that you had issues. I mean, what happened to you? Tell me. What happened to all of you during the COVID lockdowns? Were you? I mean, fuck. Let's be real here. Who thought of suicide in the last 4 years? Right? You have COVID lockdown. You have COVID, right? Kills people. You're scared of this disease. Then you have lockdowns. So now you're stuck either with someone you like or don't like, or stuck away from your family. I remember, like, I was still running around doing all my stuff. I had a cleaning company, all this. I was considered an essential employee. But I remember, like, even seeing my parents. I'd go to, like, Costco and have gloves, mask, jacket, everything. And then I'd go in the car over, and before I even touch the stuff again, we Lysol it all down, put on fresh gloves, mask, and I'd be like a hazmat guy. Be like, all right, here's your box of cereal for the week, mom and dad. Here's your Cheerios or whatever, and obviously lots of cleaning supplies. Here's all your this, and it's like, man, that was kind of ridiculous. The stuff we had to do, but it's kind of crazy. So yeah, I guess my question to all of you is, I mean, I'm sure there's so many examples of shit. So yeah, so COVID, a lot of people really sucked. Obviously, close family, friends that are dying, loved ones. That's gonna affect us mentally, especially in the amounts that it did. Then you have the lockdowns, where small businesses were told they weren't good enough to have their business. Yeah, Target, Walmart, Facebook all watched their fucking stock prices soar. Oh, you're not good enough, small business, but Target and Costco can stay open and make fucking billions. That fucked everyone up. And then we've got just all the chaotic. Everyone was pushed onto social media. Everyone was pushed on the internet. We lost everything. And we've had 4 years basically of isolation and being taught that isolation was right. And now we're seeing even more effects. I guarantee suicide rates are higher. I guarantee mental health is weaker. I guarantee that self-love is less apparent, if you could even measure that. I guarantee that spiritually, people, definitely in America, I'm going to blanket the whole world. I've traveled not as much as I usually do in the last couple of years, but I feel it everywhere. And so, yeah, so it was a good conversation, It's like 2 years I've been pretty much fucking depressed and out of life and unhappy. And I'm like, dude, I think everyone has been there. I think a lot of people had a 2 year span in the last 4 years that they were depressed. I would love to hear if that is inaccurate. If you have been super happy since COVID hit, fucking drop in the comments now and let me know, because I think everyone has had at least 6 months of like a long-term, sad, depressed state since COVID hit. I know I have. I had a good, that's large part of the reason I moved here was because my business partner reminded me that lost my relationship of 9 years because I became depressed. Yeah, that's 100%, Kathy. What do you think the depression came from? You think economy, COVID, just the chaos of Earth, of the world right now? Then the next question is, how do we fight it? How do we get rid of depression, right? So my buddy that I've started this whole thing off He said he's depressed for 2 years. I've been yelling at him. Our business has gone nowhere. He's had my money. And finally, he calls me, just goes, "Hey, you're a great friend. Thank you so much. I'm back." And I don't really know, we didn't get too into it. I don't know what helped. Maybe you're watching this. Um, but something happened, and he kind of knocked out of it. And I would say there's definitely periods of time when people are sad or depressed, but I think that like long COVID, I think we really also need to be focusing on long COVID depression and people that are unhappy of all the results, the thousands of things that happened during COVID, um, are now hitting us. We're now getting like a second wave, or maybe we're getting through it and people are coming out of their depressed zones. But I know so many people that have had shitty times, been laid off, lost relationships, just like Kathy, and I think it's very, very underwritten and underreported about people being depressed after COVID. I think depression's bigger than it ever has been. I think a lot of it comes from losing your businesses and your lovers or loved ones during COVID. I think it's how we act now, how laws are passed. We're all still scared. Isolation, holy shit! How isolated are you now? Bef- Before COVID, dude, before COVID, I think I went out 4 or 5 days a week. Now it's like we go out once and we're happy. Most people just go home after work and chill. It's crazy. Hi, Gigglebox. How are you? 4 or 5 spaghetti parties every week. 4 spaghetti parties. Oh man, yeah. Tell me how many people you know that were your good friend before COVID and are no longer. You don't even talk to them anymore. Shit, I could name a dozen. That's crazy. Whew. Well, I hope all y'all TPing my living room. No, we never did that. Don't admit to any of that. Never ever admit to that. Come on now.